the radicle, while it remains in the soil and is growing, into the root, and is becoming the root, the hypocotyl that we showed in the previous drawing, this hypocotyl will also grow out of the soil, but it is going to carry, as this one grows up, is going to carry the cotyledon. So this is the cells that are elongating to become the shoot. So the portion that now goes out of the soil is the plumule, whereas the one that is down is the radicle. The radicle becomes the roots of the plant, okay, while the plumule gives rise to the shoot of the plant. Now, in this kind of germination, which is epigynous, okay, the hypocotyl, okay, elongates and brings the cotyledon above the soil surface during germination. When the seed begins to grow, the hypocotyl, okay, of the seed elongates and brings the cotyledon, outside of the soil. You understand it now? Now, after or along the period of growth, this grows up to become, you can have leaves germinating, little leaves forming, the initial form of leaves forming along, and you have the seed germinating. So you have the initial leaves forming. While this one is getting formed, this one will be shrinking. Okay? It will be shrinking away. After about 1 week, it's already getting dried. By the time this plant will be like 2 weeks, the seedling will be like 2 weeks, this one will have withered away. But it is classified as epigynous germination because during germination, the hypocotyl carries the cotyledon above the soil surface. In another type of germination, the cotyledon remains within the soil during germination. It is only the plumule that will come out without carrying anything along. That's the main difference between the two types of germination. Now, let us now directly state the process of the process of germination. We have identified the two types of germination, which are 1, epigynous germination, and 2, hypogynous germination. Now let's look at the process of germination. If it is epigynous, so there's little difference between the two processes. That is why we have categorized the process of germination into 2, and we name it types of germination. So the process of epigynous, germination, we want to make a simple illustration of that process. Number 1, Seed absorbs water or moisture and swells up. That is the first, thing that happens, and that one will happen whether it is epigenic germination or hypogenic germination. Now, the second process or second step is that the tester splits open. Tester splits open and the radicle emerges. And the radicle emerges. And the radicle emerges. I told you that the radicle is the portion that becomes the root of the plant. Now, the third thing that happens is that the hypocotyl elongates. Told you that the hypocotyl is the portion that eventually becomes the plumule or the shoot of the plant. The radicle becomes the root of the plant. So, the hypocotyl, elongates, and it pushes the seed out of the soil. The hypocotyl elongates and pushes the seed out of the soil. That is what we mean by it carries the cotyledon. It carries the cotyledon out of the soil, in which we have shown that those are the two features that were shown on the plant, and it's something that we are going to really have a time to demonstrate. Now, cotyledons become exposed to sunlight. Cotyledons becomes exposed to sunlight. Cotyledon becomes exposed to sunlight. Then cotyledons turn green. Cotyledons turn green to photosynthesize. That's why when you see the cotyledon that are being carried out of the soil in their initial stage, you discover that they turn green. You observe that they first of all turn green, and that is to allow for photosynthesis to do what? To take place. The plant has finished the food or the energy derived from the endosperm. At this point, another source of energy must be available for the germination to continue to take place. That one is derived from the cotyledons that are carried above the soil, which eventually turns green to, photosynthesize. Apart from this, the plumule develops into a green shoot. Plumule, that is the portion that becomes the shoot, develops into a green shoot. Sometimes you see little green leaves arising in the shoot. And then finally, the cotyledons eventually shrink or dry and fall off. So cotyledon eventually dry or shrink off or shrink and fall off. Cotyledons eventually dry or shrink and fall off from the plant. So these are the major processes of epigynous germination. Now the difference between epigynous germination and hypogynous germination is in point number 4, particularly, point number 3, particularly. In epigynous germination, seed absorbs water and swells up. Tester splits open and the radicle, emerges down the soil and later becomes the root. The hypocotyl elongates and pushes the seed or the cotyledon out of the soil. So it carries the seed out of the soil. And fourthly, cotyledons becomes exposed to sunlight and photosynthesize to generate energy so that the plant will continue to grow. And the plumule develops green shoot, develop primordial leaves so that at least it can continue to carry out photosynthesis on its own. And finally, the cotyledon that was carried out of the soil will dry or shrink off and fall off from the plant. Actually, at that early stage, you see the scar of that cotyledon on the body of the plant, but it will eventually fall off and you won't see any sign of it at all when the plants now begin to grow further. Now, for the hypogynous germination, the first two processes take place. And the third, point is such that after the tester splits open and the radicle emerges, the plumule or the hypocotyl elongates. It will also elongate and grows out of the soil, leaving the cotyledon. Or the seeds under the soil, leaving the cotyledon or the seed under the soil. This is the main difference between hypogea and epigynous germination. So at this point now, we are talking about hypogea germination. We are talking about hypogynous germination. So after the splitting open of the tester, the radicle emerges out and the hypocotyl elongates and grows out of the soil, leaving the cotyledon or seed under the soil. So in this one, the cotyledon is not carried above the soil, and the whole process continues from there. And then, fourthly, the plumule, develops, a green shoot system, which allows photosynthesis to take place, and the plant grows on from there. Those are the two main types of germination and the description of the process of germination. Let's now note that for the two types of germination, there are specific plants that carry out each type. One, the epigynous germination. hypogyl germination is common to most dicotyledonous seeds. Okay, dicotyledonous seeds. Examples include dicotyledonous seeds such as cowpea, like our cowpea. Dicotyledonous is like our, cowpea, and which we also call beans. Okay, beans. Then mango, we carry it out. Okay, mango, we carry it out. Castor oil, we carry it out. And several of them, most dicotyledonous seeds, when they are planted, they will exhibit hypogyl germination. Then, for hypogyl germination, for hypogyl germination, we have monocotyledonous seeds. Examples include the monocotyledonous seeds, like our maize,